I found it. I found the perfect way to garden and start your seeds. This is it. So I have over 100 different kinds of seeds started already outside in winter. I have maybe only 6 or 7 that I'm going to be doing inside my house this year, which is going to be like the easiest thing on the planet. But this is so beautiful. Let me show you why. It's winter sowing in a Ziploc bag. And it's so wonderful because if you don't have space in your house for seed trays, if you don't want to spend tons of money on big setups like the shelving and the lights and the heat mats and things like that, then this is exactly what you want. And so you can get the most amazing flowers for so little cost and for a really small amount of work, which is my favorite combo. So this is what we're doing. So I basically I got myself these Ziploc bags. They're not even name brand. They're not Ziploc. These are just great value, and they're gallon Ziploc bags, and it's really nice because a lot of them now have that flat bottom, right? And so they can sit really well, and you basically, guys, this is so easy. It's ridiculous. So you open it up, right? And you put in enough dirt. Let me show you what I've got. So I've got this much dirt in there. You could put some more if you want. You wouldn't want to go less than this. So this is about 1/3 of the bag, right? You'd probably, if you wanted to do more, that'd be great. But I have so many that I'm doing that I'm kind of getting it now towards the lower end of the dirt inside, just so that I can spread my dirt out more so I can use more seeds, right? And then it's this simple, guys. Okay, so I open up my bag, make sure it's kind of flat in there. I'm going to choose bachelor's buttons. This is my Blue Boy. I got this from Botanical Interests. They're my favorite place to get seeds. And let's see what it says. Okay, so seed depth, 1/4 inch. I take it and I'm just going to spread them out like that. I'm going to get another handful of dirt and just kind of sprinkle it on top. And then I'm going to press it down. And that really gets them tucked in nice. You don't want any air around them. I've got my Sharpie. That is a black permanent pen, paint pen. This is an oil-based pen by Sharpie, and they're amazing for writing on things that are going to be outside in the elements, especially if it's like on plastic or something like that. And I'm going to make sure I label it. Okay, so there's my bachelor's button, Blue Boy. And that is pretty much it. What I'm going to do is when I take it outside, I'm going to water it. And then I'm going to poke some holes in the bottoms. Once it's outside, so I don't get dirt all over my floor, I'm going to cut a hole right here, 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 and here, and then that will allow for good drainage, and that is so important. Another thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you are putting a clothespin on the corner of it, and that will keep it open so that there is airflow. And then you can also, when it rains or snows, water and snow can get in there and keep things watered, and things won't rot because it's closed off. But the rest of it, you want to make sure that that is nicely sealed off, just like that. Okay, you're going to want to set your bags between something that's elevated, and then you're going to take a long skewer, like a wooden stick, kind of like what you use for marshmallows over like a campfire, and you're going to stick those through the edges here, and that way you can kind of prop the ends up so the bags don't fall over, because you want that hole facing up. It's really important that rain's able to get into there, and that snow is able to sit on top of your seeds. If it snows, the snow can get in there as well. So the things that you want to use this for are hardy annuals. So snapdragon is a really good idea. Marigolds, a lot of you'd be surprised what you can use this for. It's actually more surprising what you can't use it for. Pretty much everything is able to be winter sown. And so hardy annuals, some annuals, herbs, perennials, that's the majority of the plants, right? If it's native, if it's self-seeds, then those are the things that you're really going to want to use in your self-seeding bags. Like, I even know people who have winter sown peppers and tomatoes and pumpkins. I mean, if you think about it, you throw a pumpkin out in your compost heap in the fall, and then in the spring, those are the best pumpkin vines that you end up with. And yeah, one part of it is because it's in your compost pile, and they really are heavy feeders, and so they love that. But at the same time, you didn't have to put them in a controlled space where there was a heat mat and lights, and you didn't have to start them 6 weeks early inside. They grew on their own outside. They came up at the right time, and you ended up with some amazing vines, right? Or if you haven't done that before, that's like the best way to get pumpkins is to do it that way. But that's winter sowing, right? You throw out the seeds in the winter or late fall sown, and they came up exactly at the right time. The plant was ready for it. You didn't have to worry about hardening it off. You don't have to worry about it taking up space in your house. You don't have to worry about molds or funguses growing on the soil underneath your grow lights. And you don't have to worry about gnats or spider mites or any kind of pests that you would normally get inside your house when you're trying to grow seeds, because it's very unnatural inside the house. Seeds are designed to be grown outdoors. They are, now some of them are designed to grow in areas that are not in your climate, and so you're going to need to baby them a little bit more. But that's how they're designed, is to be dropped in the winter or fall, and then they pop up in the spring. So this is honestly the way to get the healthiest, hardiest, strongest, most vigorous plants that you could possibly want for your garden. Anyway, so I'm going to show you what I've got going on outside. I am planting like 200 different kinds of seeds in these bags. I've gone a little bit crazy, honestly, but I have a lot of area in my gardens. I have a lot of area in my food forest and in my yard that I'm either trying to start new gardens in, or I'm trying to kind of reestablish a lot of different varieties. And so that's why I'm starting so many. Also, I'm going to be doing a lot of fairs and festivals this spring and summer, and so having plant starts that I could later pot up and sell is going to be a really great way to make some money. Plants sell very easily and quickly at farmers markets and fairs and festivals. So that is my plan, and that is what I am sticking to. So a lot of questions that I get about starting seeds this way is it okay if the snow gets on them? Is it okay if I have them up on a porch? Things like that. So let's go over the questions. First of all, if it's on a porch, no problem. Awesome. Have them sitting, resting on the porch. That's what you want. If you are putting them outside on the ground, have them resting on the ground. You definitely want them sitting on the ground. You want them propped up, but resting on the ground. Also, is it okay if their snow gets on them? 110%. Yes. Look at mine you can't even see them. This is fantastic. Those seeds are doing so well. And look, we've still got some good airflow going, okay? So this is a fantastic way to do your seeds. And yes, let the snow fall on them 100%. Okay, if you guys have any other questions, let me know in the comments below. I would be happy to answer them. Can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but hopefully that gave you everything. Use potting mix instead of a seed starting mix. Really, really helpful for this. So if you're putting soil in your bags, make sure that you use a potting mix rather than a seed starting mix, just because of the way that it reacts with being outside and then having that constant temperature change and the rains and the snows and the frosts, this is going to be so much better for your seeds. Guys, I'm going to do a video where it's going to show you exactly how to do seed starting indoors, but honestly, it's going to be a lot more verbal, and I'm not going to show you as much because I'm not going to be starting my seeds indoors this year. I'm starting pretty much all of them outdoors. And yes, you can talk about how we're growing in plastic, and it would be nicer if you could do in a greenhouse, or if you had glass and wood. First of all, I don't have time to build a whole bunch of cold frames. I've got 5 kids, one of which is a baby and a toddler. I have another one that's a toddler, and so I just don't have time for that. Also, I don't have the resources for that right now. Honestly, I'm on a super tight budget, and so growing things in a cheap manner so that I can get lots of blooms and more bang for my buck is the way of my life right now, and that's what I'm going to do. I am going to reuse these bags as much as I can. I'm not going to be just throwing them out afterwards, but this is an awesome way to do things. And I know a lot of people use like the gallon milk jugs, and that's a great way to do it too, except for we don't ever get gallon jugs, because our milk that we get are in mason jars, because we have a milk share, and we get raw milk from a farmer nearby, and so it's not like I can reuse those and have a whole lot of those at my disposal. So this is cheap, super effective, really, really wonderful. I don't have to worry about taking my seedlings in and out in the spring when you're hardening them off. I don't have to worry about taking them out for an hour the first day, and then 2 hours the second day, and then 3 hours the next day, and leaving them out all night. And oh no, is there a frost tonight? And was it a surprise frost? And am I going to have to pull them back in? And I know I've started a lot of seeds in the past, and that is just such a pain in the tush. My goodness, bringing those in and out, especially if you have a lot of them, it takes up so much space, and there's so much mess, and it's just so exciting that I don't have to deal with any of it. I don't have to worry about watering it. I don't have to worry about turning lights on or off, or heat mats on and off. I don't have to worry about repotting. All I have to do is sow them in this bag, set them outside, make sure that there's ventilation, water it, stick it with a stick, and it's done. Once it gets warmer, once it starts getting warmer, say, the days are getting into like the 60s and 70s, then you're going to want to open up the top of the bags and leave them open. If the nights are getting to the point where it's like 50 degrees or warmer, you're definitely going to want to keep those bags open all the time. But you don't want to cook your plants, but that's not something that we really worry about too much, because all you have to do is just open the top of the bag, and there's plenty of airflow. And especially if you've got that pin in there, that clothespin, you're going to have some good airflow too. So there's a lot of room for error in this. It is such a forgiving system. It is so cheap. It is so easy, and you can plant so many plants. Oh my goodness. You can go nuts. You can absolutely go nuts. I've gone nuts. I've got about 200 plants. It's ridiculous. Okay, so guys, do it. Winter sow in those Ziplock bags, because it's going to be incredible and life-changing for you as far as the way that you plant your seeds and how you get your plant starts in the spring. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys want some amazing seeds, click the link below. I am affiliated with Botanical Interests, and they are incredible. I love that they have so much description in their seeds, so you know exactly what you need to do, how to plant them, where to plant them, when to plant them. They tell you special considerations, like if it needs sandy soil, or if it needs composty soil, or anything like that. It shows you pictures of what the seedlings look like. Let me just show you. They have so much information. There's the seedling. These are the different things that you need to know about the plant, how high it grows, how wide it grows, what kind of plant it is. And then on the inside, it also has tons of information just about that one individual plant, not in general, not just this is what we put on all our seed packets, literally every single variety. And I know a lot of seed companies that I get seeds from, they don't do that. And some seeds are finicky and you want to know exactly how to plant them. And if they don't tell you, then you're going to end up with a failure. And so you're wasting money because you're buying these seeds and they're not going to grow. There's even like, I love Baker Creek seeds, but I'm starting to like them a little bit less because they don't give me a whole lot of seeds when I purchase them. And their germination rates are not as great as they have been in the past. And there are details on the back, like there's a lot to be left to be desired. Like, why did I order that certain plant? It showed me in the catalog exactly why, but now in the seed packet, I don't know, is it surface sown or do I need to bury it, a 1/4 inch, or how tall does it get, or what kind of light needs does it need, and soil requirements. Botanical Interest has all of that, and it's right at your fingertips, and you don't have to go searching and researching more things after you already got the seed packet because you already got it. Anyway, that's enough of that. So I've got links if you want the pen, if you want the Ziplock bags, whatever it is. I've got links below if you want it. It helps support our homestead a lot if you guys use those links. And also, it just makes it easier because there it is, and you can just click it and go there. Guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and stay blessed.